So you saw some uplift, not double like Snowflake or 50% like JFrog, but they left a lot of money on the table. What is your reaction to the debut today?
Well, first of all, it's an absolute joy and something that not too many companies get the chance to do. And that was something that we've been preparing for quite some time. So it's a very emotional day for all of us at Sumo. And it's a very day where we're filled with joy and gratefulness. As it pertains to the market, you know, if you're really playing the long game and you want to innovate to build a durable, sustainable, long-term company, it's not about the first day or the first few days of trading. It's about that continuous, you know, quarter after quarter of delivery so that you can not only deliver on the shareholder value, but continue to go after, for in our case, the large $50 billion TAM that we're going to try to tackle.
Now, for a company that's been playing the long game, in the last short 6 months, you've been thrown a huge curveball. And I'm curious how you decided to go public now. Did the pandemic accelerate your IPO, or did it give you pause to when, you know, as you were trying to decide, like, should we go public in this environment?
Yeah, well, you can't just suddenly plan in a few weeks to go public. This is something that you have to prepare for, game day, so to speak, for quite some time. And this was somewhat we were planning for this year. Timing, we were still trying to figure that out. However, what we have determined with COVID is a tale of two tales. One, that we first had to stop and pause and make sure that we focused on what matters, and that is our employees and our customers. And so that took priority in the near term. Once we were able to get our hands on that, make sure safety, productivity of our employees, as well as helping our customers who needed us most during this time with reliable and secure cloud-native software that we deliver, we felt comfortable to resume our thinking about entering the public markets. And therefore, we decided to focus on this time frame. And we're grateful and appreciative to have been able to do that.
Now, Sumo Logic powers real-time analytics. You work with companies like Slack, you work with AWS, you work with Okta, all names of companies and organizations that have been soaring in the midst of these work-from-home trends. How has the pandemic and the shift to remote work impacted your business?
Well, I think it's been interesting because if you look internally within Sumo, back to having to prioritize the safe and healthy of our own employees, it's not too dissimilar to what we had to do to help our customers with the safety of their employees. And what I mean by that is security analytics and intelligence. As more employees now have to work from home, the threat posture and vector, as we call it in the security space, becomes ever increasingly more complex and risky. And so having to rely on legacy tools that were architected for yesterday's problem became a huge challenge for customers. So to your question, we saw an acceleration of a lot of enterprises, not just because of the movement to the cloud or digital, because the necessity for security when employees are at home and the data is also distributed.
So how then do you expect the pandemic, as it continues, the uncertainty facing the economy, the lack of clarity about the next year, perhaps even 2 years, how could that impact your business going forward? What challenges do you see on the road ahead?
Well, you can control what you can control. No one predicted COVID, and during good times and bad times, we have a philosophy here that centers around our culture, and that is being it with our customers. So as long as we continue to innovate, as long as we continue to deliver value in our service, we can ride these times up and down and continue to be there as a partner, not just a vendor for our customers. And that's what gave us the confidence during this time. In fact, as we saw in the first part of COVID, even though things slowed down with respect to now the distributed workforce, we saw an increase in the volume of data being analyzed and managed by our platform, by our customers. So that flexibility that we provide our customers because of an unknown change due to epidemic is a great testament to what we built for the new, the cloud era, the digital era that we're going after, which is, again, $50 billion market opportunity. So we're happy to be in this position. Now,
so talking about the cloud era, Ramin, what are the growth opportunities that you see over the next decade?
Well, everyone's been talking about cloud and digital transformation. What's important there for any company to digitally transform, they have to build modern applications. And in doing so, as you build modern applications, it creates what we refer to as a tsunami of data, because these new applications are architected differently. These new applications are born and, or more importantly, even migrated to the cloud. And these new applications need a different security architecture to support that. So effectively, what we're able to help them do is better build, manage, and secure these modern apps to ultimately deliver delightful digital experiences to their end users.
Have you seen much pull forward demand, and could that mean less demand in the quarters ahead?
I don't think, besides obviously some of the impacted industries with respect to travel and hospitality, we can say that generally we've seen different trends by industry and geography. So I don't think necessarily it's pulled forward demand that's causing a slow in the future. If anything, it's a pull forward demand that's accelerating that transformation and that $50 billion TAM that I referred to, which is primed by the $2 trillion of technology spend that's locked in the data center. So I think if anything, it's going to accelerate the digital laggards to those who are digital leaders.